said Valerie would like us to have our own, but I don't.
What's it for Christmas? Okay.
Good evening, and welcome to the Kingsport Board of Mayor and Aldermen November 19th business meeting. And we are meeting in the Montgomery Watterson Boardroom. At this time, I'm going to call to order the meeting. And we have our pledge by New Vision Youth and the invocation by Pastor Greg Burton, retired from Colonial Heights Baptist. Let's all stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you join me in prayer? Good evening, Father. How often have we gathered in this room and prayed for wisdom and courage and discernment? Tonight I call upon you to make this a more personal prayer, that you would look upon our leaders, those who put countless hours and efforts into doing the right thing for the people of this city. Would you have mercy upon them? For they're flesh and blood like everyone else. They have children and grandchildren and spouses. They have needs that the average person will never know, but they still have to deal with these. So would you give more grace, more love, more wisdom for their personal life as well as their public life, that they may be blessed and they may be a blessing. In this, the season of Thanksgiving, in this, the upcoming season of the Son whose birth has changed the world, we pray tonight in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Let's be seated. Thank you, New Vision Youth, for the pledge, and Reverend Burton for the prayer. At this time, I'm going to ask the Madam Recorder to take the roll, please.
Mayor Montgomery,
Here.
Vice Mayor Duncan,
Here.
Alderman Baker,
Here.
Alderman Cooper, Alderman George,
Here.
Alderman Mays,
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Thank you. All 7 members are present. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we have one recognition on the agenda tonight. This is to recognize Small Business Saturday. Alderman Baker is at the podium, and I would ask Andrea Salyer, the whole group, everybody come on up, please.
Yeah, Andrea is the Chief Business Development Officer for the Kingsport Chamber, and Bree Roberts is the Director of the Appalachian Highlands Women Business Center. So the mayor has proclaimed November 30th, 2024 as Small Business Saturday in Kingsport. Going to read part of the proclamation. It said, according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, there are 33.2 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of the firms with paid employees. Small businesses are responsible for 62.7% of new net jobs created since 1995. And small businesses employ 46.4% of the employees in the private sector in the U.S. 68 cents out of every dollar spent at a small business in the U.S. stays in the local economy, and that's critical for us. Every dollar spent at a small business creates an additional 48 cents in local business activity as a result of employees and local businesses purchasing local goods and services. Small businesses invest in our local communities, and small business revenue stays in our local communities. In 2023, the spending in the U.S. from those who shopped at the small businesses on the Small Business Saturday was $17 billion, quite a bit for our economy. The Kingsport Chamber Small Business Programs through the TSBDC affiliation has served more than 450 unique clients this year, helped create 49 jobs, helped start 22 new businesses, and created over $8.4 million in capital infusion. We appreciate that work, very much so. So I'm going to present this proclamation to the Chamber and also say thank you to all the small businesses in Kingsport that contribute to our economy. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
And I just have one announcement with that Small Business Saturday. The Cosby Bucks Buy Local program there's a BOGO right now, so you could buy a $50 gift card and you would get a $25 gift card for free. So that deal is going on while supplies last, and we definitely want you to use that and stretch the dollar with our small business. I can't believe it's Thanksgiving next week.
And you can get those at the chamber?
You can get those at the chamber, or you could go online and get those. Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is part of our meetings for public comment. Citizens may come and speak on any item that's on the agenda or any issue-oriented item. When you come to the podium, please state your name, address, sign the register there at the podium. And you're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they're limited to 5 minutes. We have set aside 30 minutes total for this section. Seeing no one stepping forward, thank you very much. Mr. City Manager.
All right, Mayor, we have two appointments, or two different boards for appointments tonight. As discussed last night during the work session, we'll take these with one motion. First item is consideration of an appointment to the Kingsport Economic Development Board. It's recommended to appoint Ted Fields to fulfill an unexpired term. And then also on the Employee Dependent Scholarship Program, it is recommended to appoint Jay Klein and Madison Green. We'd ask that you approve these appointments to these boards, please.
You've heard the reading of the appointments for the boards. May I have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any questions? Did I miss you? Good. Okay. All in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. The appointments are made. Thank you.
Next is the approval of minutes. First is from the November 4th, 2024 work session, the November 5th, 2024 business meeting, and the November 12th, 2024 strategic planning session. I would ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
You've had opportunity to read the minutes, and before you tonight, might have a motion for approval.
So moved.
We have a motion for approval of Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any questions about the minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Minutes are approved. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of an ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 5, Division 4 of the Public Art Committee. This is a restructuring that has been put together in conjunction with the Public Art Board along with city staff. You'll see there in the action form the changes as well as the responsibilities that this group will entail. Appreciate the work that has been done by all to bring this together, and ask that you approve the ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances, City of Kingsport, Tennessee, Chapter 2, Article 5, Division 4, relating to the Public Arts Committee, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard a reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance passed 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of an ordinance to amend the fiscal 2025 general purpose school fund budget. You see the recommendation in the executive summary from the Board of Education. One thing I do want to point out, and a conversation that we have had with the Board of Education and school board staff moving forward, and that has been the amount of $700,000 been appropriated for technology. This is for the funding of a crisis alert system that will go to every school employee within the school buildings, and simply allows them to be able to alert security to a specific area within the school for any kind of emergency. So I know this is something they have been looking at for some time. Appreciate the work done most recently by Dr. Hampton to secure this price and allow them to be able to move forward with it. With that, Mayor, I ask you to approve this ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the general purpose school fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard the reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Alderman Baker. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm sure the parents are in favor of all this, but as a mother of a teacher, parent of a teacher, I'm really in favor of it. I think this is, could be life-saving, so I applaud the school system for providing this for the safety of our students and our teachers.
I guess we all could have seconded this one, couldn't we? Yeah.
Mayor, I appreciate the school system doing this too. I understand the shooting in Georgia. This system actually saved some lives. So you hope it's never used. I've got a brother and a sister both that work in the school system. Hope it's never used, but I'm glad they've got that technology that they're wearing, and it's on their body. They have that opportunity to press that button, so I applaud the school system for doing this.
Okay. Okay, all in favor of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance passed 7-0.
Next item is consideration of ordinance to amend the fiscal '25 school special projects fund budget. Again, this comes to us at a recommendation from the Board of Education. Some of the items that are listed in here tie into items that you will be approving as we move forward. So with that, Mayor, I'd ask that we approve the ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2025 school special projects fund budget and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard the reading of the ordinance. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion?
Just want to call out, I think, that this includes 6.5 million. Is this, am I on the wrong one?
You're on the wrong one.
Oh, I was down one. Oh, I'll get you next time.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Oh, but yeah.
I went down one too far, sorry.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the resolution of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance passed 7-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of a budget ordinance for various funds in fiscal '25. You see throughout this the receipt of dollars in as well, and most notably, as Alderman Phillips just stated, the $6.5 million that we have received from the state of Tennessee to go towards the dental clinic, which we are working towards making that a dental school. This is a significant milestone in the project. Greatly appreciate the work that was done by a host of people, including our legislators, but also for the governor taking time to come to Kingsport, tour the clinic, even sign the beam in there that many of us have done, and very much is a supporter of what we are doing here with this project. So excited to be able to have those dollars in hand, begin moving those forward. And as stated in the previous item, there's also dollars being appropriated here that go towards projects that you will be approving later on in the agenda. So with that, Mayor, I'd ask that you approve the budget ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
I'm good on this one.
Okay. Any other discussion? Seeing none, let's take a vote. All in favor of the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance passes 7-0. City manager.
Next item is consideration of an ordinance to reallocate ARPA funding between projects, as we discussed last night, and really as we've been discussing over the last couple of years associated with the ARPA dollars that have come in through the federal government. 2 tranches that the city of Kingsport has received have been allocated. Many of those groups have spent those down tremendously. However, in certain areas, there's dollars that still remain because we need to have those dollars obligated by the end of this calendar year. Lisa, our city recorder, is making the recommendation that we move some of these dollars around, swap them out with cash so that we can fulfill the obligation that was sent down through the ARPA funds. None of these groups are losing dollars, or we're just simply swapping out between the ARPA dollars and cash within the organization. The areas that they are going, we'll be able to obligate those as we move forward through the end of the year. So that, Mayor, we'd ask that you approve this ordinance on first reading.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the ordinance.
An ordinance to amend the General Project Special Revenue Fund budget and the General Project Fund budget by reallocating American Rescue Plan Act funds between projects for the year ending June 30, 2025, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
You've heard reading of the ordinance. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Alderman George. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the ordinance say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Ordinance passes 7-0. Next item.
All right, moving into other business. First item is consideration of a resolution renewing the agreement for the rental of a Caterpillar PM312 cold planer roadway milling machine and Laymore sweeper closed cab SM450 from Stowers Machinery, and authorizing the city manager to execute a rental agreement for the same. You all more than likely very familiar with this, as we have brought this to you the last few years. It allowing us to be able to rent or lease this equipment for the self-performed paving that our city crews do. These are two very valuable pieces of equipment, and as we have stated here, we prefer at this point to continue to lease these, and Stowers has continued to agree to hold the cost. And so with that, we'd ask that y'all approve the resolution continuing this lease, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution authorizing the renewal of an agreement for the rental of a Caterpillar PM312 cold planer roadway milling machine and a Laymore sweeper closed cab SM450 to Stowers Machinery Corporation, and authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement for the same.
Okay, you've heard the reading of the minutes of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion for approval by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the resolution say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, next item is consideration of a resolution to apply for and receive apprenticeship training grant from First Tennessee Development District. You see within the body of the executive summary, a total amount of up to $19,000. Does require a match, however, that will come through in kind, through training salaries or overall training costs. This is part of our efforts within our 911 dispatch apprenticeship program and our police officer apprenticeship program. Two very good programs that Tyra Copus has led us to in an effort to address vacancies within those groups. This is a grant that will be very beneficial. So with that, we'd ask that you approve the resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute all documents necessary and proper to apply for and receive an apprenticeship training grant from the First Tennessee Development District.
We've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So move.
Motion approved by Alderman Mays. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Baker. Any discussion?
Mayor, I'd like to just tell the city thank you for going after this grant and doing that. I think it's great, thinking outside the box of trying to recruit people. And I understand the dispatch and police officers were trying to recruit, so this is just a good opportunity for that, so thanks.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of resolution authorizing the mayor to accept a donation from Ballot Health for a reset room at Rossin Robinson Middle School. This is another item that's coming to us through the Board of Education. You see the donation amount of $4,500 to go towards the setup of this reset room. There is one that is already in existence at Sevier, and so this will replicate that at Robinson. So with that, I'd ask that you approve the resolution accepting the donation.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution accepting a donation from Ballot Health on behalf of Ross in Robinson Middle School and authorizing the mayor to accept future donations and sign all documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of this resolution.
Okay, you've heard the reading of the resolution. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Mays. Any discussion?
Chris, is this coming from the Ballard's Copa?
I believe so, yeah.
That's where it originated from. I know this is off topic. Do we have any idea how much they've spent in Kingsport on the Copa?
No, I do not. We can talk to
Okay.
Rebecca back, see if we can get that, though.
Yeah, that'd be great to know.
Any other discussion? All in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Ms. City Manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order for a wrestling mat and wall pad for Dobbins Bennett High School from Resolite Sports Products. This is not only, again, for the wrestling mat, but also for the wall padding that will be necessary as well. This is part of the efforts as they go through and renovate the Buck Van Hus Dome, which we had an opportunity to go through earlier today, and very impressive how that project is coming along. If you've not been in the dome, you're going to be in for a real treat when you get an opportunity to go back there, hopefully here in just a few months. This comes out of the project, part of the FF&E. This is an item that comes to us from the Board of Education. So I'd ask that you approve the resolution authorizing the purchase, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish the resolution.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Resolite for a wrestling mat and wall pad for Dobbins Bennett High School.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. The city manager.
Next item is consideration of a resolution to amend an agreement with PetWorks Animal Services, Inc. During our work session last night, we heard from representatives of the PetWorks Board regarding their operations as well as their needs to begin working towards an adjustment of the current line of credit that they have on the construction of that building. A little over a year ago, the Board of Mayor and Aldermen approved a resolution that would authorize $250,000 in a matching grant that could be put towards the reduction of that line of credit. There remains about $142,000 in that, and as discussed last night, I think the consensus of the board and at the request of the representatives from PetWorks would be to go ahead and authorize those dollars so that we would be able to move forward with having some conversations with the bank. So since last night, moving forward to today, we have a meeting tomorrow with Eastman Credit Union to talk about the existing line of credit. And also, as we discussed yesterday at our work session, that as a change to this from what was originally published is that your approval will be contingent upon me reporting back based upon what our findings are. As I've stated to you, I kind of view this as a two-step process. We first address the $142,000. We have the conversation with the bank, and then we move forward with a potential second step in looking at how this entire debt could be addressed as we probably move into the latter part of February, 1st of March. So again, this has been modified from last night to state that it be contingent upon my report back to you all. And again, like I said, we will have a meeting tomorrow with Eastman Credit Union to discuss this. Mayor, be happy to answer any questions, but.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving an amendment to the agreement with PetWorks Animal Services Incorporated to provide funds for the building capital campaign and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement and all the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
You've heard the reading of the resolution. May I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion approved by Vice Mayor Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman George. Any discussion?
Mayor, I will say that I was on the fence. I looked at this as a nonprofit coming and asking us for money to help them with a mortgage. But since last night, I found an article from the Times News, and if you'll indulge me just a minute, this was in November, right after Pet Works ribbon cutting. And the newspaper article said discussions about a new larger animal shelter began nearly 10 years ago, with the mayors of Sullivan County and its municipalities asked the state to recommend how to do a better job of taking care of stray cats and dogs. The existing facilities in Kingsport and Bluntville were woefully inadequate and in need of major repair. A state study, I've not seen the state study and I would love to, recommended Kingsport and Sullivan County join forces to build one shelter to serve all. As the project moved forward, the county withdrew. But the city kept its commitment for a center with a room for 180 animals, isolation rooms for dogs and cats, dedicated adoption spaces, an educational area for animal care and training, larger workspaces for employees, and the dog park at the rear of the property. I view Pet Works as a quasi-governmental agency because if they did not provide that service, it would fall to this body to fund that service. And I've not seen figures, but I can't help but believe our contribution probably is smaller than what a full-fledged animal shelter would be for us to operate. So I've wrapped my mind around saying this is a service that they're helping us with, so we're in turn helping them with. That's how I've arrived at my vote.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the resolution, say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Resolution passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
All right, move into the consent agenda. You have 3 items on there. If you'd like any of these pulled for further discussion, please let me know. First item is consideration of a resolution to accept a donation from the Bays Mountain Park Association for the observation tower. Second item is consideration of approval of insurance or certificate of compliance for a business to sell retail alcoholic beverages. Item 3 is consideration of a resolution to approve inclusion of Kingsport City Schools in the social media accountability litigation and authorizes the Director of Schools to execute an agreement with the France Law Group to represent the Kingsport City Schools. We ask that you approve these 3 items as presented unless one is desired to be pulled for more discussion. Mayor?
Any, may I have a motion for approval?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? Madam Recorder, please take the roll.
Alderman Baker,
Aye to all items.
Alderman Cooper,
Aye to all.
Vice Mayor Duncan,
Aye to all.
Alderman George,
Aye to all.
Alderman Mays,
Aye to all.
Alderman Phillips,
Aye to all.
Mayor Montgomery.
Aye to all. Mr. City Manager.
All right, we now move into communications. 3 items from me, Mayor. The first you will find in your agenda. This is a report on the debt obligation. As stated earlier, in one of our earlier meetings, we issued $2 million worth of debt to go towards the customer information system. You'll see that listed here with an interest rate of 4.27%, 12-year term, and that is simply in there to be spread across the minutes. Second item is, if you hadn't had a chance to see the new landscaping at Church Circle, that comes through a very unique partnership that was spearheaded by Beverly Perdue, a longtime supporter of downtown Kingsport and someone who is also a resident of downtown Kingsport. Beverly, along with Keep Kingsport Beautiful, raised the funding to redo the landscaping there, and they've also secured funding to continue to maintain that. And I tell you what, that's one of the things we do so well is these unique partnerships that really help define who our city is. And my hats off to both John and Beverly Perdue, Keep Kingsport Beautiful, and then the many donors that have contributed to make that look just absolutely amazing. Last, Mayor, on behalf of the staff, we wish you and the board a very happy Thanksgiving. As well, we wish that to our citizens and businesses here in Kingsport. Next week is an abbreviated week for the city. Many of our facilities will be closed. Many of our operations will be adjusted. I encourage folks to log on to our website or check our social media channels for those adjustments. The biggest, obviously, will be a change in your sanitation schedule. So please make sure you're aware of what days to put your card out and what days it will be running. But we hope everybody has a safe Thanksgiving and a very enjoyable time with family and friends.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Alderman Baker.
Yeah, well, we just came from the Dobbins-Bennett Dome, and it's a very nice structure. I remember as a kid going and watching Skip Brown and Andre Relaford and Mark Elliott, and the place was packed, standing room only. Those was heroes growing up. But it is a nice facility, probably one of the nicest gyms in the area. So I think we're going to be very proud of that. The other thing I'll mention, Alderman Phillips last night mentioned the homeless in the area, and that we seem to have a resurgence of destruction of property and just different things. And I want to ask, we've got an ordinance on vagrancy, correct?
Yep.
We have a vagrancy, we have an ordinance on panhandling,
Yes.
and we have an ordinance that you cannot sleep in the park overnight,
We have an ordinance that the park closes at dark.
and no trespassing is allowed.
We have a camping ordinance.
Camping ordinance.
Yeah.
You know, I look at a community and a homeless, all cities are dealing with trying to figure out how to take care of this, but a community comes together. We had 3 homeless shelters come in, I think, last work session, and they've got beds provided for. And I would think that our role is to say, can we strengthen or can we enforce our ordinances? And if we need to strengthen to protect business owners and citizens, I know downtown, I was here last week talking to some business owners, and I had them tell me that they've got customers that actually will not come into the shop because the homeless are right outside asking them to come in and get them food. And I know that we have food that's readily available for the homeless in the downtown area. So I would ask, I think we need to start looking at our ordinances and seeing what do we need to do for our part to make sure that we're enforcing those. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, Alderman Phillips.
Okay, I've got just 2 things. One is that for the first time, I think ever, the Carousel, which is a big passion of mine, is doing twilight rides in the month of December. So there'll be a Christmas at the Carousel in December like they've done, and that is the first day the kids are out of school. That's 19th or 20th. I can't remember the date. Is it the 20th? Okay. Oh, yeah, you would know. Yeah,
They get
so,
off at lunch. I mean, it's half a day that day.
half a day, so, yeah, so that's going on, but also the neat thing is the carousel is gonna be going at night on the first 3 Thursdays in the month of December. I happen to know the operator who's gonna get to live out his dream and operate the carousel on the last 2 Thursdays of the month, so I'll be channeling my inner Jay. So that's gonna be really neat because all the lights are gonna be off, all the Christmas lights are gonna be lit. You'll be able to see all the lights kind of around downtown as you do the carousel. So something new that I think our city staff just does an outstanding job finding, new ideas and new things to do with the resources we have here in Kingsport. And by resources, I mean, Carousel Bays Mountain, things like that. So kudos to Christy and her team for pulling that off. And then the last thing is just last night, I'm sure a lot of people are going to talk about this, but we had a paving update last night as well. Last night was a really good discussion. I've said forever, if you come to any meeting, come to the Monday meeting because that's when all of the good information is. But the paving update last night was very good, showed what progress we've made, and that we are only, I think, a couple years away from getting another, having the van go and check all the ratings of the roads. So, we wanted to jump 5 points from 2016 to 2021, and we jumped a little over 7. So hopefully we make another good jump this time. And I think one of the things that I ask for that I'll be excited to share this when we get it is that the people that measure the road conditions do it in other cities as well. And so just having some comparative data, because I do believe we are playing catch up for 50 years of paving, neglect that went on well before anybody sitting up here in the audience got here. But that has caused this reputation that I think is very over-exaggerated. I do not believe that, we do not have the worst roads in the United States. We have bad roads just like every other city, but we are putting a lot of money into it, and we're doing a lot of good work, and I think we've come a long way, and I think even more so, citizens are seeing it more and more because of TDOT now coming in and doing some main road paving. So great update last night. PaveKingsport.com is where you can get the information, and it also lists what roads have been paved and what roads are upcoming and the areas we're going into. That's all I got.
Thank you. Alderman Mays.
Oh, thank you, Mayor Montgomery. I was expecting Vice Mayor Duncan next, but certainly want to echo my colleagues' comments earlier. A couple of things I would add is, and I'm sure the board would agree with these comments, we're excited for DKA that received a $300,000 competitive grant downtown. Not many cities received that amount, so we're very proud of them and putting that grant forth to help our downtown. And I also want to give a big shout out to our Dobbins Bennett Band. They competed this weekend in Indianapolis at a national level. 3 grueling days. The students had to perform and practice and compete, and we're very, very proud of them as a city, and certainly those students and the staff, Life Cook, are shining stars for our city, and very proud of them, so.
Anything else?
Nope, thank you.
Alderman Cooper.
Well, I will not disappoint. We'll talk about Christmas again because now it is right around the corner. I was up in Avery County this weekend, and Brad Southerth, that has sold our trees to Kingsport, was cutting our trees. So, and I think they'll be in Kingsport tomorrow or Thursday, and then the city staff will start putting them up Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday of next week. So as soon as it goes up, then your nameplate will go in front of it, and you can start decorating anytime through the Thanksgiving week. And I think the big decorating day is going to be the 3rd, James, 4th, 3rd or 4th.
Yes.
It's gotta be done by the 4th.
It has to be
We've
done
got
by the
it
4th.
done by the 4th. I think we're doing the 3rd.
But I think that Daytime Tri-Cities is going to be there.
Oh, December 2nd's when I'm going to be, second's when I'm
Second,
going to
okay,
be
so
up
they're gonna
down
be
here in
down-
the park.
So, and it's so exciting. James and I were yesterday downstairs decorating the new feature, the big bulbs on the patio. So, those will be turned on. So every year we're trying to add something new, and this year, with the bulbs, I'm very excited to see them turned on. Also, Lamplight Theater, be sure to visit down there to see their Christmas program. And they just did a ribbon cutting for a coffee shop, right? There's a coffee shop in the Emporium side, so as you're looking at the lights downtown, stop at Lamplight, watch a play, and get a cup of coffee.
Is that it?
That's it. I'm good.
Alderman George.
When are they gonna light are they gonna do the Christmas tree lighting at the same time they light the bulbs, or?
Now, the
The
bulbs
bulbs are gonna be lit
the
sooner?
bulbs will get lit. All the things that connect the bulbs to each other, and then the wire that you plug in, did not come with the bulbs. So it was shipped on the 14th, so it should be coming anytime. So we'll probably light the bulbs
As soon as you
as
get
soon as
it?
we get it.
Okay. And we have the tree lighting, I think that is the Saturday, the
So that's the parade.
7th, the parade.
But now
and
this Saturday is the Santa's Depot.
Santa's Depot,
The parade is the 7th.
the 7th, but Santa's Depot is this Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday.
So
This is
everybody,
the Santa train.
Right now, is this right now?
And it's gonna, yeah. Well, it's Christmas.
It definitely is Christmas. I think everybody has covered most everything. I just want to remind people, I think we got the sales tax report, and it was a very favorable report for sales tax. But it is very important, not just for the city, but also for all your local companies that you shop local. And even if you purchase something from somewhere else and have it delivered, we do get the sales tax here. But we have a lot of small businesses. I know that's what got recognized today. And they need you to go there and support them in person and support them with the items you're buying and just being there. So, you know, it does make a real difference to our cities. It makes a real difference to the schools. So anytime you have an opportunity, being that it's the holidays, please shop local. And everybody have a great Thanksgiving, and I have a cold, and that's it.
Okay, thank you. Vice Mayor Duncan.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of items, just to kind of expand on what Alderman May said. Congratulations to the DB band, finished 10th in the nation, and they represent us so well. So we appreciate Lathan, all his hard work for that. And then, of course, the DB football team. I think at the start of the year, I don't think that we would have thought that they would have made it to the second round of the playoffs, and so congratulations to them as well. Domtar, there has been some noticeable improvement on their odor. It's still not perfect, but over the last month, they have been working hard to improve that. So hats off to them. And then, of course, they've bonded, I think, $60 million as they go forward on that project. But over the next little bit, there's going to be dredging of the ponds, and that could cause some odor as well. So being a downtown resident, you know, kind of keep a close check on that, and certainly hope that they get that mitigated, you know, soon, but I know that's kind of in progress. And also, happy Thanksgiving. So appreciate everybody enjoy their family.
Thank you. I want to say congratulations to the Kingsport City Schools for their academic achievements. I mean, the 8th year in a row, they've done well and continue on the right path, so thanks to them. Last week, I attended the graduation for those from the North facility, Recovery Center, and it was really emotional program. About 20 people graduated, and they paid down their fines, they got employment, but the biggest piece of that was, it was at Northeast State, and that room was packed. And I'm a firm believer that the support that they had going through that system was the key to the success of that program. So my hat's off to what they're doing there. And thanks to you all for our strategic planning we went through last week. I think that was fantastic. I think we've got 7 strategic focus areas that we can work on and move the city forward. And thanks to the city staff for the work done there and getting us in the right place. And I too say happy Thanksgiving to each of you. And this means adjourn.